Most agents I talk to complain about not getting leads from social media, and yet most of them aren't even offering anything in exchange for leads. And if they do have something to offer, right, they're probably not using it. And so in this video, I'm going to cover a few things. Last week I talked about lead magnets, how to create them, but if you want to watch it, make sure to click here. But in this video, I'm going to talk about how to step-by-step really create your new lead magnet and how to use it so you can fill up your pipeline with scorching hot, high intent leads. I'm talking the leads the type of leads that thank you for selling them. Those are the type of leads I want you to get for your business. And so let's do a quick recap of what's a lead magnet. So a lead magnet, if you're not familiar, it's pretty much something that you offer usually in exchange for someone's contact information. Now, most agents I know don't have one, right? The reason why lead magnets are so important is because if you're building an audience on social media and you get hacked, you're at the mercy of losing everything. You're also at the mercy of the algorithm, if I use that term correctly. But you risk getting hacked. So it's important to have a lead magnet so you can take your people, your followers, your audience, your clients off the social platforms and into your own CRM, right, or your own list of some sort. The other reason why it's so important is because you risk not being top of mind. On social media, let's say you have 30,000 followers, well, maybe 3,000 of them see whatever you post, maybe less, right? Or let's say you have 1,000 followers, maybe 100 actually get shown your content, and maybe 300 get shown your content. And so when you have an email list, if you send out one email to 1,000 people, it gets to all the 1,000 people inbox. Now they may not open it, but at least they got it. Versus if you post one video to 1,000 followers, most of them, the majority of them, won't ever know that you even posted anything unless they went on your page and went out of their way, right? Again, that is one of the reasons why it's important to have a lead magnet. Now, most of the lead magnets that agents do use, the ones that are using it, either is a home equity analysis, which isn't really all that great because most people use Zillow. Now, I know this estimate isn't that accurate, but now you have to explain that to everyone that you talk to, and so that gets annoying, right? And then also a buyer seller guide. Well, buyer seller guides are a dime a dozen. Everyone's offering them, and most people just use the templated buyer seller guide that their brokerage gives them. So there's no personalization outside of maybe their contact information or maybe the cities that they work in. And so if you use what everyone else is using, you're going to get the results that everyone else is getting, which is nothing. So in order to get an effective lead magnet, you have to create what I call a MIFGE, the most incredible free gift ever. Right? And the thought process behind this is like, how can you create something that people would feel stupid saying no to, something that people would foam at the mouth for, that attracts your specific target audience and makes them, helps them solve some sort of pain point that they are currently facing. Right? Now that we're up to speed, that's what we covered last week. Let's talk about a simple and easy way to create your first MIFGE, right? Your first lead magnet. So a lot of people are familiar with the DTD2. Right? The DTD2, if you're not, is a system that was created for you to stay in touch with your database, where you call each week people in your database that have either the first name or the last name. Some people do it differently. That starts with a specific letter, right? And so most people that I know are currently already doing this. If you're not, make sure you stay in touch with your database, right? Your circle of influence is probably the best place that you can have because these people already like, know, and trust you. So that's the best database that you can have. So what I want you to do is call 50 people. Yes, 50. If you don't have 50, well, this is going to be a great exercise for you to go find 50. Right? Call 50 people, and I want you to ask them these 5 questions. But before I get into that, why am I going to give you more homework than you already have? 1, by talking to your database, that's literally part of your job, and you might get some business just from doing that alone. But 2, a lot of people I see, they're trying to ChatGPT everything. And a lot of people know me for teaching AI, ChatGPT. I have a whole TEDx talk, 75,000 views almost, teaching you how to prompt ChatGPT. People are trying to defer to ChatGPT and AI so much. Like, oh, AI, this is my target audience. I'm going to help buyers. And give me 10 ideas to help buyers and 10 things I could do for buyers that would be interested in chat. Like, stop trying to go to AI for everything for a second and start going to your audience. Like, the closer to the original source, the more valuable the information. Right? If you remember the telephone game, right? By the time the information gets to you, it's already lost in translation. There's someone is paraphrasing, someone is saying the wrong thing. So when you are going directly to your audience and asking them about, the things in their life and what's going on and what they're struggling, what they need help with, like, you're going to get so much more valuable information, and then you can bring that back to the AI. But don't do it the other way around. Don't ask ChatGPT for different ideas for lead magnets. No. Go talk to your people and figure out what they're really struggling with, especially if you claim to do business with people you like, know, and trust. Right? Go build some rapport. Right? If you claim to be in real estate or in whatever business you're in because you love people, go love on your people. Stop going to AI for everything. That's just so annoying. With that being said, enough of my soapbox. Once you're calling these 50 people, when you're calling these 50 people, you need to have two things ready. Right, either a pen and paper, or a notebook and your or some sort of laptop or computer in your hands. Right, pen and paper, or laptop in hands, or computer in hands. Why? Because as you're calling these people, I want you to start writing down their responses to the 5 questions I'm going to start giving you. And I don't want you, when you're writing these responses down, to paraphrase them at all. I want you to write down as best as you can, word for word, what they're saying. Now, if this is hard for you, right, phones nowadays have a recording feature. So, I mean, if you just ask them, hey, you mind if I record this call? I'm working on something. Then they may say okay, or they may say not. If they are okay with it, then you can just record and then not have to worry about typing or taking the notes, because you can just get the actual transcript. But if they say no, they're not comfortable with that, then you're going to have to write. But anyways, here are the 5 questions. The first one is, what are you struggling with, or what problems do you have with XYZ? Now, if I were to call, let's say, a real estate agent, most of the time I'm teaching about like marketing, content creation, social media, AI. Right? That's like kind of like my wheelhouse. So let's say I'm working on a new social media lead magnet, right? I might say, hey, Mr. A, what problems are you currently having with social media? Now, what are some of the things you're struggling with social media? Are you getting the results you want? No, okay, like what are some of the things that's stopping you? What's some of the things you're struggling with? You don't have to word it exactly how I did, but you start to get a feel for, again, the pain points that they're having, right? You start to get an idea as to, okay, what are some of the things that they're struggling with? One of my favorite quotes is, the person who solved the biggest problem cashes the biggest checks. And so if you can start paying attention to what their problems are, then you'll start to see, okay, cool. Like, these are the problems. This is the one that said this that's really getting them stuck, like keeping them stuck and getting in the way. The second question, or let me give you a second example. The second example, let's say you're talking to a buyer. Hey, what are some of the main problems you had with like buying a home? Or let's say you wanted to work with a FSBO. Hey, what is something that you're struggling with, right? Your house been on the market now 40 days on Zillow. Like, what's some of the things you've been struggling with? Is like the paperwork or coordinating the showing? Like, what's some of the pain points that you've been having? Again, find a way to word it that fits more comfortable to you. But in a nutshell, you're trying to figure out, again, where their pain points are and what they're struggling with. The second question you want to ask is, what fears or concerns do you have about XYZ? It's important to use fear or concerns, right? Don't just say one or the other. It's fear or concerns. Because some people, especially who are more like macho, bravado, or like don't like to admit that they're scared, or, alpha, whatever, they might not respond well to the word fear. But everyone can have a concern, right? Just because you have a concern for something doesn't mean you're scared of it. Whereas fear may be interpreted as being scared or whatever. So what fear or concern do you have around social media, right? I asked one lady this. She told me that, John, I hate being on camera. I don't look how I used to in high school. And I have a lot of people on my Facebook list that are friends from me and know me from back in high school. And I don't want them to see that I let myself go. That's the type of response you would never get from a random survey, right? You can only get that from talking to people, from actually caring. Now, what I could have done after hearing that is I could have created a faceless automation course or something like that, right? Or a faceless YouTube or a faceless video system, right? Because how much more valuable would that be for her, right? Right. I created a whole faceless system for her. Like, that's going to be an absolute no-brainer if I were to go back and offer that to her. But again, the more you talk to your people, you're going to be able to get the real reasons, the real mindset and beliefs that people are holding on to, and that's preventing them from getting the results they want. And the more people you talk to, again, the more information you have, the easier it's going to be to create things to help them. Third question is, what are you currently doing to blah, blah, blah? So what are you currently doing to get your house ready to sell? What are you currently doing to get ready to buy your first home? Oh, I'm saving up my money. Me and my wife are working extra hours. We just picked up another job. We've been selling some stuff that we don't need just to get the house easier to, to pack and move. What are you currently doing? This gives you kind of like a bird's eye view as to their current state. And this is super important because question number 4 is, what is your ideal outcome? What is your ideal outcome once we buy that home? What's your ideal outcome once you start leveraging social media? Right? What's your ideal outcome once you start using AI in your business? What's your ideal outcome once you sell that home? Oh, I want to at least make like 50,000 and then maybe use some of that money to put towards my my Roth IRA and max out some of my other investment accounts. And I want to take the rest of my money and take my grandparents and my grandkids to a trip to Disney. I don't know. Right? What is the ideal results? Now, people pay for transformation. So if you know what their current state is and you know their ideal outcome or the ideal result that they're looking for, then when you're talking back to them, they say, hey, remember when you told me that you want to sell your home and get $50,000 profit, whatever, so you can take your kids to Disney? Well, I actually created this home equity guide, whatever, to maximize the value of your home before selling it. So you can take your grandkids on vacation. That's going to speak to their specific thing, right? It shows a transformation that they're getting that they want. So if you know where they are and you know where they want to be, it shows that you understand them so deep that you know, again, what they're going through and how to get them to where they want to go. And then the last question is, if I could wave a magic wand, what would you need to get you from where you are to where you want to be? Right? And if you want to take this a little step further, you can repeat back the responses to question number 3 and 4. So let's say someone was, wanted to buy that, sell that home. Let's keep going with the home seller example, right? I would say, if I could wave a magic wand, what would you need to get you from where you are, to get you from, getting your house ready to sell right now and like trying to organize everything and coordinate everything to 3 months from now on a flight to Disney with your grandkids and $50,000 in profit. So I think I'd probably need someone to declutter everything. Like, this is too much. I need someone to, just bring me a buyer for top dollar. I need someone to, whatever the answer may be. I can't give you the answers to any of these questions that I'm asking. I can only give you the questions so that you can ask it for your audience. Now, don't go into ChatGPT with these 5 questions. Say, hey, ChatGPT, these are the 5 questions I want to know about my target audience. Whatever. No, don't do that, right? Call 50 people, like I said earlier, and ask them the 5 questions. What are you struggling with, or what problems do you have around XYZ? What fears or concerns do you have about XYZ? Or what are you currently doing? What is your ideal outcome? And if I could wave a magic wand, what would you need to get you from where you are to where you want to be? Now, that last question is super important because you're pretty much asking them, how would you like me to help you, without saying that straight up, right? Let's say you wanted to, let's use weight loss, right? Let's use weight loss. Now, I'm going to give 2 examples. These are not the only examples, but just bear with me for the case of this example. Let's say there's one person who wants to lose 20 pounds, right? Now, he's presented with 2 different solutions. Solution A is, hey, take a pill a day, or take some flat slimming tea every single day for 30 days, and you'll lose the 20 pounds. And option B is work out for 30 minutes a day, every single day, and you'll lose that 20 pounds. Right? Let's say both options get that person to the ideal result in the 30 days. But he doesn't like working out. He's most likely going to choose the slimming tea route. Now, let's say you come down and you try to talk to him, hey, you should work out. You actually would be better off and da-da-da-da and this and that and benefits, pros and cons and blah. But this person doesn't want to work out. When someone else comes with the slimming tea offer, they're just going to take them up with it. So you can have the solution to someone's problem, but if you're not delivering it in the way that they want it to be delivered, you might be losing out on tons of business. And this is something that no one really talks about, no one really thinks about. So like, how can you deliver something in the way people want it to be delivered to them? That's a super important question. Once you ask these 5 questions, you want to type these questions up, or you want to record the call, you want to write down the responses. Again, don't paraphrase. After you do all that, you talk to your 50 people, you have all the responses, then you want to upload that into ChatGPT, right? Then you can say, hey, ChatGPT, I just interviewed 50 target clients, 50 people representing my target audience. And here are the things that they told me that they're struggling with, that they have fears and concerns around, that they're doing, that their ideal outcome that they're looking for, and how they want me to help them. Like, I want you to analyze this information and provide me with 5 to 10 unique ideas for a lead magnet. But notice how we didn't start off with ChatGPT first. We went to the people first, took that information, then brought it back to the AI, and then we used AI to help with the brainstorming. Now, you don't need to use AI, but if you did want to, make sure that it's the step number 2 and not the step number 1, right? But once you do that, AI will help probably most likely come up with a bunch of ideas that you didn't think of. And then from there, you can create something. And here's where it's like the secret ninja, why this is such a secret ninja strategy. Because then you have a reason to call them back. Right? Most people, what they do is call somebody once a quarter. But let's say I call you and you say you're struggling with how to use social media. And you tell me like, I would just want someone to teach me how to, edit my videos quickly because I really don't have the time, right? And then I come up with a lead magnet. Hey, get your first 10 videos edited on us for free. Be like, wow, you're going to edit my videos? I literally just told you that I was struggling with that. I was like, I know, I remembered, and I thought of you, right? So now you have a reason to call people back, and then you can offer the lead magnet that you created that they said they need help with, right? Now you're providing even more value. And because these people already like, know, and trust you, right? You're building even more goodwill, even more rapport. And if they want it, well, guess what? If you want to attract more people like them and they find it valuable, then when you start offering it on the internet to cold strangers, it doesn't matter that they don't know you. As long as they have the same problems or want the same outcome that the people you went to have, they're going to also want it as well. And they're going to opt in and raise their hand. And so you went and validated your idea before bringing it to the internet instead of bringing your idea to the internet and hoping that it gets validated. So that's why this strategy is so ninja, because you're building so much goodwill with the people that are already in your circle. But then you also validate the idea so that when you bring it out to the world, people, you'll know that people will want it. Or you might just go back to your audience and they tell you, hey, we don't want it. And in that case, even better, because now you don't have to waste your time trying to sell people or convince people about it. You can just go back to the drawing board and then make something else and give them another call back. Hey, I know you didn't like the first version, but here, I created version 2. Do you mind checking it out? Right now they feel invested. Now they feel like they're part of the journey, right? So that's why that strategy is so valuable. But here's another strategy. Let's say you don't like calling people. Another strategy you can use, is the simple survey strategy. So all you want to do is, let's say you already have an email list. Right? All you have to do is send them an email saying, hey, I have a simple question I want to ask you. And then the email could be something super easy like, hey, I have this survey I'm doing. I'm working on something like really big and exciting, but I need your help. I just have 2 quick questions, right? And then in the survey, it could literally just be a job form. And the question 1 could be, hey, what is the number 1 thing that you're struggling with when it comes to XYZ? Hey, what's the number 1 thing you're struggling with when it comes to buying a home or selling a home or getting your first rental property? It doesn't matter. And then 2, what are some things you tried in the past before? It could just be anything, but you can also use an email survey. Instead of asking 5 questions on a phone call, you can just take like 2 of them and ask them on a jot form, right? And make it easy for them. Now, the whole point of this is just to get massive amounts of information, because the more information you have, the better decisions you can make. You'll start to see a through line. The more people you talk to, the more people you get responses from, the more feedback you get. And when you get that through line, it's going to be so much easier for you to come up with marketing material, with presentations, with an email copy, with YouTube videos, because you just understand your audience so deeply. You don't have to waste time thinking. Like this video and last week's video, I did a survey. I interviewed 54 agents, right? Or they did my social media diagnostic, which is down below in the description if you want to take it. It shows you why your content isn't converting and gives you a personalized playbook on how to fix it. Now, of the 54 agents that I've interviewed or surveyed or take the diagnostic, 40 of them responded that they either never or rarely use a lead magnet, right? That's a little over 80%, if I'm not mistaken, or close to 80% of people are not using a lead magnet at all. So that's why I made this video and last week's video on lead magnets, how to create them, how to understand them, how to use them properly, right? I don't have to waste any time thinking about this week's video and last week's video. I know what my audience is struggling with, so I'm just going to provide a solution. Then I'm going to send out an email to my list. Hey guys, most agents I know aren't getting leads from social media, and it's most likely because they're not using a lead magnet. So I made 2 trainings, a 2-part training series teaching you all about lead magnets, how to use them. Oh, my list is going to be like, oh my goodness, wow, John, so amazing. But that didn't come from AI, and that come from me getting data on the people that I actually claim I want to help, because I actually really want to help them. So there's that information. That's like the reason why I'm so big on like surveying and stuff. But with that said, let's get into delivery methods. So if you're talking to someone, let's say at a Starbucks, the easy thing you want to do is in your iPhone, I'm not sure if Android has this, you can create keyword shortcuts. So you can create a shortcut to the link. That way you're not having to manually find the link every time someone's asked you in conversation. You can just, I actually created this free thing. Do you want it? Yeah, of course. Can you just text it to me? Okay, what's your phone number? Boom. And you just use your keyword shortcut, and then the link will pop up. That way you're not scrambling for it. Another way you can deliver your lead magnet is on social media, right? You can put it in your bio, right? For like things like IG. If you're using YouTube, you can put it in your description. Like my social media diagnostic is down below in the description, right? If you use Facebook, you can use your Facebook cover as your lead magnet, right? In the caption for your Facebook cover or the photo could be like, hey, get my free guide or get my free PDF. Let's say if you're doing reels, you could put it in your captions. Hey, comment the word blah, blah, blah for my free lead magnet, or DM me the word blah, 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 or like this story for my new lead magnet. Let's say if you're doing presentations, you're speaking in person, either online or virtual. You want to give your lead magnet at the point of greatest awe, meaning the point of your presentation where you're delivering the most value, probably somewhere in the middle of your presentation. That's where you give your lead magnet, not at the end of the presentation, because if you do it at the end, it's so awkward. A lot of speakers, they'll give this amazing one-liner and then they'll ruin it by saying, scan this QR code and you get my blah, 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 blah. Like, bro, you already gave the one-liner. Now people are giving you a round of applause and you're trying to talk over the round of applause. You ruined it already. So give your lead magnet somewhere in the middle of your presentation, right? The point of greatest awe. And then keep it pushed. It's like, hey, scan this QR code, put your email in, but hey, I'm on a time constraint, so hurry up, put your email in because we got a bunch more content to get into. People will scan, put their email in, right back into the presentation, keep it going. And then you can reach out to them afterwards. And then the last thing I want to talk about is with lead magnets, don't just collect leads, make sure you follow up with them. I'll probably make a whole new video. I might just make this a 3-part series because I'm already running out on time. And in the third part, talk about high intent leads versus low intent leads, and then talk about automation and follow up. And so actually that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make another video going all in on that. I'm going to script it out right now after I finish recording this one. And next week's video, I'm going to talk about lead magnet follow up, lead magnet automation, so that you can get a bunch of leads and actually convert them, because there's a lot of people who will get emails and never follow up, and it never turns to business, which is just as bad as not using a lead magnet at all. Now, if you're using social media, if social media is a priority to you this year, and you're not getting the results you want, you're not attracting clients, you're not converting clients from your content, I made a free social media diagnostic in the description below. It literally takes 5 minutes, and it will show you why your content isn't converting and give you a personalized playbook. I can't make a whole video on YouTube about lead magnets and not share mine. If you want to get unstuck with your content, take that diagnostic down below, and I'll see you in next week's video.